Hello, you are watching the Chistel, CHISTELL.com YouTube channel, and I'm author, the author of Love Pour Over Me and Gada's Glory. I'm author Denise Turney. So what is this Chistel.com YouTube show about? This week's show is about preparing for tax day. I know tax time is just recently passed for filing your taxes for 2017, but preparing for tax day as a book author or freelance writer. These tips that I'm going to share with you, you can use throughout 2018. If you're filing late, these tips will help you as well this year. But if you get started on these tips now, you can save yourself a lot of headaches. So even though the tax season has passed, a lot of people do file late for different reasons. One, because they're not prepared yet, and if you are a novelist or a nonfiction book writer or a freelance writer, especially if you travel a lot and speak a lot in marketing your books, you've got a lot of fees, you've got your mileage, a lot of things that you can deduct, but you need receipts or logs for. You got your mileage, you've got your hotel receipts, you've got your business related meals receipts, you've got your airline tickets, you got a lot of stuff, you've got your office supplies that you've got to keep up with. And if you wait to the last minute to do it, you might end up filing late. So these tips can also help you. So preparing for tax day as a book author or freelance writer, you want to start early. I can't say this enough, to get your receipts and tax documents ready. Sometimes the ones that I've done could almost take up a binder. So you can keep them in an envelope, or you can keep them in a file folder and just file them either by category, by office supplies, by book marketing, by travel, business meal expenses, business knowledge, and you can check the IRS site to see how much you would get paid per mile. It might be like 54 cents a mile, but check with the IRS website because that changes. So start early to get your receipts and tax documents ready. Do yourself a favor and gather your receipts each month. It just helps you make it easier on yourself. If you're going to wait till the end of the year, give yourself 2 to 3 months to get everything together. The last thing you want to do is to file your taxes and realize you could have saved yourself a couple of $1,000s in deductions that you forgot about because you didn't have all your papers together until you got home and this submit button for your taxes was filed and you have to do a correction. So you can keep receipts in a binder, a box, or an envelope, as I said. Write what each receipt is for on the receipt. Had dinner with literary agent, had a meal, was on the road for a book conference, book club meeting, bought such and such. So write on the receipt what it is for, and then because the print on paper will begin to fade away, scan it. So you want to scan your receipt with the notes, and you can just save it in PDF format on your computer. And just back that up. You can back it up on a removable disk drive, which you can get for like $12 at an office store, and just save it. So that way, if the print fades on the paper receipt, you still have it. And log book sales and your freelance writing money received in a spreadsheet. Even though you're going to get your 1099s as a freelance writer from your clients, log it. Another thing other than taxes for logging, you can see just how much you're making per hour for certain projects, which clients you might want to think about talking to about a pay increase, and which ones are currently paying you at a competitive rate. So log book sales and freelance writing money received in a spreadsheet. And if you keep a running spreadsheet that lists out money as soon as it comes in, you can save yourself a lot of time rather than going back through all kinds of papers and trying to do it at the end of the year. Pay your quarterly taxes and pay them on time. Another way to save yourself, so let's say you're filing later, you just filed your taxes, you can have your accountant take out your quarterly federal and state taxes out of your refund if you're getting a refund, and you're just done with that. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Unless you start to make a whole lot more money off your book sales or your freelance writing, then you might want to send in a little bit more money. You could even create a separate bank account and deposit money in your quarterly taxes for, so you can get a little bit of interest off of it and then use that money just to pay your quarterly taxes. But the other way, again, like if you're getting a refund, just have the state and federal quarterly taxes taken out there. That applies whether you have a part-time or a full-time job that's not writing related. Keep receipts for all quarterly taxes paid. Your accountant's going to ask you for those. They may ask you for the check, the date you wrote the check, and they'll put it in when they submit your taxes. If you work through an accountant, visit the IRS website and familiar yourself with deductions that you're qualified to receive. As a freelance writer, you may qualify for some deductions that you don't qualify for as a book writer, and vice versa. Like your office, how is your office a dedicated space where you do your writing? Calculate mileage related to business travel. Create a log to capture that. You always want records to back things up for. Again, with the paper and the print, I encourage you to use spreadsheets. If you have paper, scan it because you don't want the print to fade. Schedule time to review and submit your taxes with your accountant. If you don't have an accountant, set aside time to do this. Do your taxes on your own. And follow up on any 1099s from clients if you're a freelance writer. Don't assume because you didn't get a 1099 that you don't have to include it on your taxes, because what if the client mistakenly sent their part of the 1099 to the IRS but forgot to send it to you? Then you don't want to get yourself in trouble. So follow up with clients on 1099s. And take account of book inventory. If you're a novelist, when you file your taxes, they're going to ask you about your inventory, your starting inventory. You might start out with 5,000 books. What's your ending inventory? If you sold 3,000, then your ending inventory is 2,000 books. So those are some tips for you as you're preparing for tax day. Going forward through the year, these tips are not something that you wait until April or 14th or the 15th or whenever every year. You know, the tax filing day sometimes changes. They extend it sometimes. So it doesn't go, don't start doing your taxes in April. Start doing them now, which is why I'm sharing. If you want to avoid some headaches and save yourself a whole lot of hunting and researching and time and maybe missing out on deductions you could have taken, like interest you paid on student loans, or if you, whether they're for yourself or for a child, if you took out a student loan for your child, you can deduct that interest and keep up with the IRS with the laws as they change, as lawmakers change things, so you can know what you can deduct and what you can take advantage of as a book author and somebody who sells books, and as a freelance writer. So, great tax tips. And for more information right here from me, 30 plus years in writing, freelance writing, and novel writing, I would encourage you to subscribe right now to our chistel.com, CHISTELL.com YouTube channel. And please go out and get a copy of Love Pour Over Me, my latest book, which is in ebook and print format. And look out for Gada's Glory. Thank you. Bye for now.